Hey everyone, it's Gene Calderon here with Gene Calderon Apologetics Ministry, coming to you again with another video. Today, being Sunday, we're going back to Sunday Science. If you're curious, we did a previous Sunday Science. That was our first one. This is going to be our second one, and we're just looking at the basics of what science is and what science can do for us when it comes to our faith. Because science today is such a major issue in our modern society. I mean, everyone needs to go through an introduction of it, or maybe even a reintroduction to what science is and what it's meant to do, because in particular, every high school student should at least know what is science, the different ways that it is practiced, and why science is so important. And I'm talking about people within the faith-based community as well, not just the public education system. Yeah, in the church, we should know these three things about science. What is science? How is it practiced? And why is it so important? So first of all, let's look at the question, what is science? What makes science different from religion or philosophy or history? We should be challenged to be able to define science and recognize why philosophy of science is missing so much today. I mean, today about 40 departments of education define science as investigating the natural world through the use of observation, experimentation, and logical argument. But then there's states like Massachusetts or Kansas that have restricted science down to only allowing unguided natural conclusions or natural causes to explain what we observe. So when you restrict it down to that, only natural causes, students should know why that kind of restriction is controversial. Because logically, there's only two types of causes, intelligent or non-intelligent, or what we call natural causes. Unfortunately, most schools are going to rule out intelligent causes before they even look at the evidence. And natural causes, honestly, are not always supported by observation, experimentation, or logical arguments. But the problem is, since we've already ruled out intelligent causes before we've done any of the scientific methods, then the only possible explanation that's going to be allowed or taught are the natural causes. And again, we should question that. Why is it when all of the evidence doesn't point to a natural cause, we're never given the option to look at something beyond nature or an intelligent cause? That's something we should look at and understand, but that's really what's going on. And we have to ask ourselves, why do we allow a biased philosophy to rule instead of actually making real scientific observations? Because this is a good way to confuse or deny our students about coming to logical conclusions. Why don't we just give our students all of the scientific evidence, whether it's pro or con, and let them make up their own minds, training them how to think instead of telling them what to think? Shouldn't we be teaching them to think critically on their own? I think absolutely we should, but sadly, most of our educational courses, they go to great lengths to make sure that doesn't happen. Our students today are suffering, and they're suffering in the areas of thinking and rationalizing and concluding. And they're giving no other options but to accept what they're told to be able to accept in order to pass the class. Students want to pass these classes. College students are paying big money to get that piece of paper at the end of the semester saying that they passed. And if what they need to do in order to pass the exam is learn all of these falsehoods or all of these biased opinions, that's what they're going to do, and that's what they're going to walk away with, having never been trained on how to think critically or come to rational conclusions. That's really why we've got to take a look at or retake a look at science. What is science? How is it done? Why is it so important? And that's what we're doing here on Sundays. We're trying to look at some of the scientific evidence about why we believe what we believe when it comes to God, Jesus, the Bible, our faith, and how to apply that rationally. So yeah, we're all about being able to do this and to think and to believe in a way that makes sense. So I hope this helps. I hope you have a better understanding of a little bit of the direction that we're going. If you have any questions or comments or thoughts, leave them. What do you think about science? What kind of science have you learned that's always confused you? Or maybe some of the conclusions that you were told is true, but really didn't truly understand. Maybe we can touch on some of those subjects, especially when it comes into the areas of faith. We'll talk about some of those things. There are some controversial issues. We may touch on those, but the whole thing is to equip, equip, equip. Why do we believe what we believe? And I hope this helps you. So if you're interested, follow us here on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Look up Gene Calderon Apologetics Ministries. I'm also serving with Ratio Christi, the Indiana Regional Director, or you can look up Ratio Christi at Purdue University Northwest, Hammond, Indiana. Or look up Lake County Right to Life. I'm also active there, or Freedom Church East Chicago. And if you want to see more of this, if you want to see more of what we're doing here in the community of Northwest Indiana, we could use your help. There's a donation page. There's always a link there if you want to be able to support us financially. It's not easy for me to be able to do all that I do without having the responsibility of supporting a family. And I need that. I need that kind of help. I actually work extra hours in order to do most of this. But the more I work, the less I can do, or the more strain is taken, or the less time I actually have with my family. Now, I'm not going to deny my family, but it's a struggle. It's a balance that we have to go through. Your help would really, really get me going in the direction that I want to go, that I feel God has called me to be able to serve you and the community of Northwest Indiana. So if you're interested in any of these topics, look us up, support us, put it where we can use it to be able to glorify God, and we can thank you for it. So thank you so much for watching. God bless you, and see you next Sunday.